As the morning light filters in, the Max Breakfast kickstarts your day from the bedside.
We bring you the morning vibe and plenty of ginger to start your day right.
Join us on the Max Breakfast as we help you seize your day one step at a time.
On Maxis, we've got the ultimate playlist for you. We give you back-to-back.
And all the biggest news from the world of entertainment, only on Maxis.
Area, waiting the apple, waiting the shop. Tune into our award-winning waiting the 102.3 Max FM.
Lagos, Nigeria, you're welcome to the Max Drive.
Whether you're there for inside motor, you're there for inside traffic, we're there for you with a massive way.
You know what it is. It's the Max House Party. King Dion, DJ Charlie Shee. Let's go!
102.3 Max FM. Hit music for Lagos.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome the grand comedian of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Gbenga Adeyinka the First. OJ right here, 7 of 7, like you already know.
Benga right here, 7 of 7, like I'm beginning to know.
It's now time for the question.
You don't scare me one bit. Bata, I go drink. So.
Okay. So now one chance for enter. My first question. Do you remember the names of the winners of that edition of StarQuest?
Of course I do.
Why do you?
And I
themselves, they're lifting on behalf of NNPCL based on the agreement NNPCL has with Dangote. And hopefully, I don't know, I mean, have you guys bought petrol recently? I don't even know. You don't know if it's Dangote. So they confirmed they are still lifting with the 875 naira per litre.
Which one is the price? 650?
It's 86.
875 is what they're lifting.
68, sorry.
So anyway, that's all we can take on this front page review. Let's go on a short break. When we come back from our next segment, stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Don't worry, we'll talk later, yeah?
I'm Miriam Lunge. I'm a passionate environment advocate and a publisher.
Alpha, give me small space. I'm big.
I am the founder of Celebration,
Thanks, G.
a businesswoman, and
don't come
a fashion icon.
The Alpha, I got you.
I am a wealth coach and a real estate developer.
Body, I beg, make I connect. I beg, I
I'm
need to
Mama
stream.
Karakwe. I'm a corporate commercial lawyer and an entrepreneur. Say what's that now? Welcome to the Warehouse. I am Ram.
Enjoy 100% data bonus with live data. Dial *312# to enjoy.
I'm Jabba. I'm the lawyer.
Power your relentless ambition with ultra-high-speed data.
I am Muriah Afolabiban, Managing Director, TVC Entertainment. I'm a media consultant, producer, and broadcaster.
The ladies of Your View are made of women from
Get ready for something big this September. Africa's largest creative event is back. Bigger, bolder, and more exciting than ever. This is your moment to take your creative career to the next level. Are you passionate about film, fashion, entertainment, art, photography, technology, music, dance? Whatever your passion is, this is what you've been waiting for. Join us for the 3rd edition of the Africa Creative Market, a mind-blowing experience you won't forget. From the 17th to the 20th of September at the iconic Landmark Event Center, Lagos. Get ready for 4 action-packed days of entertainment, inspiration, networking, and incredible opportunities for growth. It's time to shine. Don't miss it. We'll see you there.
Television shows, TV series, listening to good music, and taking a trip around the world, seeing new places.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the carpet. It shows the coordination of raw earthen materials slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty, erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
It's work for me. It's a way of life that brings about merriment, relaxation, and it's happiness. It's everything good put together. Anything at all just to make you happy, give you joy.
Thanks for staying with us. Join us now to discuss the first Fountain Court, a luxury smart housing project located at Abijo GRA. Brought to you by Rollard Properties and Allied Services. Is the head business strategy, Rollard Properties, Mr. Oludotsun Olaoye. Welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good to have you.
Thank you very
much.
So,
walk us through that journey of the first Fountain Court in Abijo GRA.
Thank you. So, first Fountain Court, sometimes in 2022, was butted, and we started with the phase 1 of this project. The phase 1 consisted of a unit of 4-bedroom detached duplexes, which are, by the way, developed and delivered to their buyers. And not long after that, we started the phase 2 of this project, which is why I'm here. And the phase 2 is consisting of 2-bedroom apartments and 3-bedroom terrace duplexes. Now, one interesting thing in this journey is that those that bought into the phase 1 of First Fountain Court as at today have experienced almost 100% value appreciation. Why do I say that? Some of them bought at 45 million per unit at the time, and as at today, the value of 1 unit of 4-bedroom detached duplex in First Fountain Court is 85 million. In addition to that, the phase 2 of this project, those that bought in earlier into the phase 2 of this project at say 28 million for the 2-bedroom, today at the level of construction, which is about 60% completed, a unit of 2-bedroom is selling for as high as selling for 55 million. Now you can see that generally First Fountain Court has proven to be a highly profitable investment and a future-proof investment for people that have bought into it before now. So in a brief, that's how far and how well First Fountain Court Abidjan has been doing.
Okay, so what is unique about this First Fountain Court?
Okay, so the uniqueness of First Fountain Court, first of all, I like to say that at First Fountain Court, we are not just building a home. We are building a connected lifestyle. So some of the features you find in First Fountain Court include smart doors, smart assistant, solar inverter, solar panel installed, which means that there's going to be 24 hours electricity, water treatment facility, and so on and so forth. Now, why is this important? All these features aims to create a blend of luxury, of functionality, and convenience. I still maintain a position that post-COVID era, the definition of home has changed. Home is no longer where you come back to sleep and wake up to go out. Home now is where you sleep, you wake up, you work. Home now is the production room for some people. Home now is many things. So the concept First Fountain Court came out with is, how can you own a home that can serve multiple purposes conveniently and is functional for the things that you want to do in that home. So, and get this, it has been projected that smart home technology in Nigeria will grow by 25% annually. So which means that anyone that is keen into or buying a project like First Fountain Court now is actually securing a future-proof investment by that time. Number 2 is location. So First Fountain Court is uniquely located and is strategically located at Abidjan GRA, Lagos, along Lekki Epe Expressway. So it's after Songotedo. First is in a GRA, is in a secured environment. Secondly, it is in proximity to major business hubs, Aja, Lekki, Victoria Island, which is about just an hour drive. Now, with the access road that is being near completion from Abraham Adesanya all the way to Epe now, makes commuting very easy. Not only that, you will notice that businesses and things are now springing up on that axis because of the reconstruction of that road now. And what you also observe is that the value of property in that axis because of that access is increasing. Rental income is increasing. Safe to say that the location of this estate is also close to the maybe 40-45 minutes to the new international airport, Epe now. So when you look at all of these landmark and happenings in this location, you can tell that this project is strategically positioned for high returns on your investment. And properties in Lagos that have close proximity to major business hubs like this have also been found out to grow annually by 10 to 15%. So which means that securing a property here is also a good thing that you want to do. And lastly, is that this is a property that the title is clear. Approval is clear. It's a C of O titled property. So which means that it is not only giving you peace of mind, it's also further securing your investment. So these are some of the uniqueness of First Fountain Court Phase 2 by Rollard Properties.
Okay, so who is this project, this estate suitable for? Individuals or families?
It's suitable for everybody, both. So for 3-bedroom terrace duplexes for families that want space and security. The 2-bedroom apartments for individuals and young professionals that want modern convenience for their work. Or it's also even suitable for real estate investors who buy properties for rental income purposes, right? So this is a project that is accessible and it is suitable for everybody involved.
How secure is the estate?
How secured
Is the estate?
It's highly secure. It's within a GRA. So apart from the fact that there is a manpower security, you also have smart technology security in the estate.
Okay, so can you share more on the investment potential of the first fountain court?
So Lagos has been known to be, has been a strong market for real estate investment. And Abidjan GRA is a rapidly growing area. Properties in these houses are significantly projected to increase in value appreciation in future years, in near future years that we are experiencing now. And having said that, we found out that in the last 5 years, right, property appreciation in this area has risen by an average of 20%. Number 2 is the rental income in this area. The rental income in this area is between 1.8 to 4 million naira across 2-bedroom and 3-bedroom terrace duplexes. However, with top-notch amenities like that of First Fountain Court, it can push this rental income to the higher end of the spectrum. Say you are looking at 2.5 to 5.5 million naira, which makes it very attractive for those that are buying for income purposes. Maybe you are wondering, how does the coastal road thing impact this location? It does not, this project is not anywhere near the coastal road construction. If anything at all, the coastal road will give this project more accessibility for people to be able to access it, right? So, and that is also something worthy of mentioning. Now, in addition to all of this that I have said, you can secure a unit of either 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom terrace duplex at First Fountain Court starting from 15 million naira. And you have flexible payment plan to do it. Now, for everyone and anyone that are keen in between now and October 15, we are also going to be putting in a double-door fridge fitted into their kitchens as a welcome package, to the estate. So everyone keen in between now and October 15 also gets
a free refrigerator.
Double-door fridge fitted into your kitchen as you are coming in, as you are taking your keys, is already there, powered up and all of that, right? And so these are the potential that you don't want to miss. So if you are in Nigeria, if you are in diaspora, and this is an opportunity that you've been looking out for, this is your time to take action. Right? You want to call our numbers, you want to go to the website, www.rullerproperties.com. You can call us directly from the website, you can chat with us directly from the website, or you can call the numbers on the screen. I always say something, ask the questions. Don't answer the questions yourself. You call, ask the questions, let us tell you what is possible. Let us discuss your preference. Let us help you get started.
Fantastic.
Go to the website.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
Wishing you all the best.
Thank you so much.
That's all we can take on this segment. When we come back, move on to our hot topics of today. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
What?
Sonia tomato mix, stand up, ouch. Sonia tomato mix, stand up, ouch. Is it too open? Is it too squeeze? Is it too scoop and is it too soft? It's just come alive, there's so much taste, stand up, ouch. Sonia tomato mix, of course.
sauce, my God. Sonny and tomato mix in a new stand-up pouch.
Hey, my people.
Hi, this is Dr. Abiola Salami, the world-class performance strategist, author of the best-selling book, The Magic of Emotional Intelligence, and the publisher of The Peak Performer Africa. I'm inviting all young, emerging leaders, women in leadership, and C-level executives to the Peak Performer Festival 2024. The theme is Driving a Culture of Peak Performance in Africa, Leveraging the Magic of Emotional Intelligence. Date is 2nd to 4th of October 2024. We will be learning from top-tier experts from multiple industries across the globe. We have designed the Peak Performer Festival 2024 to deliver excellent return on investment for sponsors and organizations that want to leverage the event to engage customers and power up their staff for peak performance as follows. 1. The Emerging Leaders Summit, where we will equip young emerging leaders with emotional intelligence skills that will fast-track their career and enterprise growth. 2. The Women in Leadership Summit, where we will equip women with emotional intelligence skills that will position them to deliver excellence everywhere they lead. 3. The C-Suite Networking Breakfast, where we will equip leaders at the very top of the organization with emotional intelligence skills that will enable them drive sustainable growth for their organization. And finally, the Peak Performer Awards, where we will recognize legacy founders and peak performing organizations in both the public and private sector. Affordable sponsorship and corporate registration packages are available. You can reach out to us on team@tppafrica.com or call us on 090-91234-567, or you can visit www.tppafrica.com for more information. The Peak Performer Festival is an initiative of Champ Global Leadership Consultancy, a world-class organization driving a culture of peak performance. Till the next time, keep rocking your world like a champion.
I'll be your guide, your style icon. Each week, join me as I transform from traditional chic to corporate sleek. Whether it's a birthday bash or a high-profile gala,
International Literacy Day.
You feel like you're right there
The 9th of
with
September
me.
is the International Day to Protect Education from Attack. The 10th of September is the World Suicide Prevention Day, while on the 11th of September is the remembrance
So
of
join me as we
the
explore
World
the
Trade
vibrant
Center,
tapestry
the
of
United States,
Nigerian
popularly
sin,
known
one
as
event
the
at a
9/11.
time.
On the 15th of September is the International Day of Democracy. On the 16th of September is the International Day for the Preservation of the Ozone Layer. The 21st of September is the International Day of Peace. The 23rd of September is the International Day of Sign Languages. The 26th of September
After
is
morning
the
live
World
theater
Maritime
is
Day.
the Max
The
Breakfast
International
Takes
Day
That's
for
your
total
day
elimination
from the
of
best.
nuclear weapons.
Bring you the morning
On the
vibe and
27th
plenty of
of
ginger
September
to
is
start
the
your
World
day right.
Tourism.
Join us on the Max
On
Breakfast
the
as we
29th
help
of
you
September
to your day
is the World
one step
Art
at
Day.
a time.
Stay tuned to TVC News for those reports and analysis.
On Maxis, we've got the ultimate playlist for
First,
you.
with
We
breaking
give you
news.
back to back.
And all the biggest news from the world of entertainment.
At
Only a
TVC
Max.
News,
Dirty,
wherever the big news stories happen, we bring them to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Lagos, Nigeria, you're welcome to
Get
the Max
ready
Drive.
for
Whether you there for
something
inside
big
motor, you there
this
for inside
September.
traffic, we there for you with a massive. Every weekday on Business You know what it
Nigeria,
is.
you're
It's
covered
the
in
Max Party.
financial
King
war.
Dion,
Analyze this
DJ Charlie Shea. Let's go.
102.3 Max FM. Hit music for Lagos.
For the CBN and other government parastatals as they affect your everyday life, keeping you a step ahead every time.
Okay, this is good. Incredible.
Ladies and gentlemen,
matter.
make welcome
Our team dives
the
deep
one
to separate
who can make
facts
time stand
from
still
popular
forever,
opinion.
Mr. Kelechi
We simplify complex
Amadi.
government policies as it impacts your everyday life, helping you
How
navigate
are
the
you doing,
ever-changing
sir?
financial
I'm
landscape.
good, my brother.
We love that intro. It was great.
Watch Business Nigeria
Thank you.
every
Thank
weekday
you.
at 2 p.m.
Now my question.
Only on TVC News. First with breaking news.
What is
Akiwande Oluwole Soyinka was born on 13th July 1934 in Abeokuta, Nigeria, to parents Samuel and Grace Soyinka. His education began with the Christian lessons of his parents as well as the more traditional Yoruba spiritual customs taught to him by his grandfather. He had his preparatory university studies at Government College Ibadan in 1954. Subsequently, University College Ibadan, and he continued at the University of Leeds, earned a bachelor's degree in English literature. Soyinka's master's degree focused on projects combining his Yoruba culture with traditional British theatre traditions. He later returned to school in Nigeria to study African theatre, during which time he continued to produce poems and plays, one of which appeared on Nigerian television. Shortly after, he became the chief of the Cathedral of Drama at the University of Ibadan. Nigeria had only recently gained independence from Britain and political corruption was at a high. Soyinka's plays and poems became increasingly political. Giving speeches protesting government corruption. He was conspiring with Biafra rebels. He was therefore arrested and imprisoned in 1967 for almost 2 years during the Civil War, but managed during his time to write numerous poems. He was finally released in 1969 after a brief period in
Thanks for staying with us. So, an on-air personality, Oyoyo Baby, took to her Instagram page to bitterly address private schools, especially for allegedly making textbooks no longer useful and making sure assignments and texts are done in the textbooks, thereby rendering it useless for others to use. She reminded us of how we were growing up and how when a child uses a certain textbook, it can actually be passed down to other children. But today, considering the economy and the situation Nigerians have found themselves, it's so difficult for parents to be able to purchase books and then have the children use those books for the activities within the textbooks and thereby rendering those books useless for the next generation. Now, what are your thoughts on this? I mean, this is a conversation. Aside from the issue of textbooks, there are other relatable issues. So concerning schools, requirements for children. I mean, my kids are being asked, it's international, no, it's October 1st, it's coming up very soon, it's National Day, right? So I have 4 kids. And the school is asking them to dress in different countries, in different tribes. And all 4 children are beginning 4 different tribes. Now I'm looking for Igbo attire for somebody, Fulani for another person. I'm looking for Salsa for somebody else. And I'm thinking, why am I running out of scatter looking for me? It's really, really frustrating. Why don't we just, yes, we're going to celebrate our national unity, but must we dress in that way? So it's frustrating. So it's also part of the changes we are seeing in schools and how our parents reacting to it, given the economic situations that we find ourselves. That's our conversation this morning. You can call us on 081-0764-1679, 090-241-63440. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourView TVC so we can read your tweets. Let's start with this example that the other personalities talked about, the textbooks. I mean, I understand how she felt, but I also know that even textbooks in different parts of the world also have activities. So usually you buy books and their activities. So maybe we also took a leaf from them that we cannot keep doing this thing. I don't know, but what are your thoughts on when you heard
when we went to school, because I went to Unity School, Federal School, and so our books used to come in the proper way textbooks should come. Big ups to the Ministry of Defense then, under the Education Department. So we buy our textbooks, and each textbook writer had an activity book at the back of it. That activity book, your parents can decide to change, but your textbook can be passed down. And I never had to burn any textbook growing up. But now we are parenting children, and we're seeing schools do it. So the last time our school have had to address it, parents were, you have 2-3 kids. Some people had 7 kids in the same school, 2 in a class. Then they have 2 younger ones who are going to approach the same class, and they also too have to buy textbook over and over again. Yesterday I went to my son's school and I paid for books that are in the Western education category, because in Islamic education, there are no changes. The same set of hadiths that they will take for primary schools, the same set of hymns that they will memorize. Why do I have to buy the books when I have 3 copies from the senior sister's own alone and 2 copies from his own? That's 5 copies. We've given out copies of another. So we've addressed it. Certain subjects are changing. Some are not changing. There's no point. So you're allowed as a parent to remove the ones that you already have that are in good condition and rebuy another one. But the way books are now published is in such a way that you must buy, because people too have to earn. In our country where we don't, ensure that there's proper intellectual property protection for certain books, except you go extra mile to put all the factors in place as a writer. You need this kind of thing. So you write your book in a way that the activity book is inside the textbook, so that the next session you will still be in business.
So saying it that way. So she is lamenting, but another business owner is also lamenting.
I'm on the fence on this one.
Okay.
So as a parent, I have suffered it, but I see the side of the writer easily. Yeah. I see them. And there are certain books that you can exempt. There are certain books that you must use. The fact is that writers have to eat.
Yeah.
If you keep recycling books, we know we always also do borrowing books and all of that. Yeah. People who have done this business, who cannot guarantee that there's protection for their intellectual property, might not even have to feed. So you see a writer not really living the life here as opposed to abroad. So
I think you're absolutely right on that, because that's the 2 sides of it. What are your own thoughts on this?
So I think, also, we need to factor in certain things like maybe private schools and public schools, right? Like it's time that private schools, people that go to private schools can afford the fees and can afford a certain lifestyle, okay? So maybe we can have the same book and then have the ones for private school and have the ones for public school, where by the ones for public school, they can have an activity book where they are not writing or doing the activity inside the textbook, and they can pass it or share because they can't afford it. They are struggling to even pay the tuition to send their kids to school. So there has to be a middle ground in this, for me, in this situation, because the reality is that we're going through a very tough time in the economy, and everybody is trying to cut costs. As in, you can't say because like I own in Yanga Lagos, and then because I want people to also come and buy, that people should not pass down their clothes to children. I grew up in a home where I wear, my sister would wear, and that kind of thing. Yeah, they pass it on.
I know of Lagos State public schools. I don't know of any other state, but because I've done some work in Lagos State public schools, the government provides these books, and these books are actually, they also have activity books, so you can't even pass them. Once the child gets the book, the activities are in the book. So government actually pays and provides these books for these children because it's a public school. But Mike, let me hear your own thoughts on this, because as I said, Nima has given us both sides. The writers in our country, sadly, many of them have never really enjoyed the wealth of the expected wealth from their intellectual property. And that's one of the things that was in the Minister of Culture was saying, that there's going to be an intellectual property shield for Nigerians, because that's what we need. If I don't feel that the work I have done, I can actually earn from it, then there's no point in me trying to be creative to do more stuff. So until we have that, we have to also protect them. How do you protect them? Ensure that people are always buying. But this is a mother complaining that I can't have 4 children and not be able to share books. What are your thoughts? How do we find a middle ground?
You don't have 4 children.
You only had 1.
Because the population is
expanding.
So maybe we should all reduce. Our men should now start using.
Okay, I'm taking it another angle now. We're discussing the men shoes. What are we? How does the thing correlate? What are you doing?
That's the
children are already on ground.
What does that have to do with books?
Well, they're just going to have to deal with the issue. Because the issue is that, because I've seen these books, everything is inside the book.
Yeah.
There is no way we are going to pass. There are some books you will still pass on. It's not everything. So manage yourself. I have 4 children. I manage myself. Everybody must chop.
Yes, yeah. I want to come back to Mariah, when Mariah said that for the public schools that the government, but
only in Lagos.
Okay. So let's talk about Lagos State, and we're in a situation where we're trying to say government should even cut down costs. So I even expect the government to even take an initiative to know that there should be a textbook and activity book so that they keep passing down those textbooks to save costs for the government so that the education sector can also cut down costs, because this is where we're going as a country. We need to be realistic. Do you understand? But if the government is paying for this and we're trying to cut down costs, we should also look into stuff like this.
Amaka, that is not cutting down costs now, because that's 2 books instead of 1. That's 2 books.
But at least the main one, they can now pass it down.
You know, I see. Let me tell you what has happened. Let me tell you. See, this is always nice. It sounds nice. We're gisting about, you in our nice private sector lifestyle. You get those books for these people. You know what happens sometimes? Some teachers, not all teachers, some will carry this book and sell somewhere else. These things happen. I'm not saying that it's not in all cases, but I'm saying that it's always good for your child to carry their own book, write their own name, and carry it to their house. And know that I own this book. Put your activities in the book. It's easier that way, because when you start giving them, aside from the malpractice of some of these people, it happens where even some of the printers. There are always issues across board. These are some of the problems.
When I was in school, when I was in secondary school, they used to steal my own books.
Yes, everybody
gets. So my parents had to keep on buying me books because they were always stealing our books. But in those days, as opposed to today, school was heavily subsidized. Heavily. Our school fees was 10 naira. Can you imagine school fees? 10 naira then in those days. Books were heavily subsidized. So it was not so jarring on the parents. Now, naira is 1,000.
So it's not even about the kids' book being stolen and resold. Your book is your book. You write your name, Bagala. Those days, if it's about reselling, my father had this Akokia library. You just stamp it on all the textbooks. And so all the Akokia children are supposed to use the book. Then me, Amakashat, I will now be using my hand to write that I'm using his first name inside the book. Yet, we had books that, my Alawiye, for instance, I had primary 1 to 6 of Alawiye. My elder sister had used the same book. We were passing it down. We were supposed to wrap it, use it in the best of conditions so your younger sister can use it, just the way we wore our clothes. But now, the way the books are sold, it's one child per use.
Yeah.
And the schools are also in connivance with this, because the schools are now meeting publishers. You see some books that are not sold in the markets. They're sold at book fairs to schools directly.
Yeah.
The schools have said, okay, in your 20 naira profit, our own is 2 naira.
Not all the time.
Trust me, I'm saying it on live TV. They're not selling it for free, any publisher for free. They say courts. So their courts, they have established it inside the sale. And they will ensure that children write in the book in schools. Write in the book, give your assessment. The teacher himself will mark inside the book, sign and all of that. Make sure that this book cannot be reused by any child. In the days when we went to school, for schools books that didn't have activity book, you had an exexercise book. If they write 2 plus something inside your book, you will write it out in your exercise book for subjects.
Everybody's online. All the kids and even all their assignments
online. We are going online.
I'm not saying that it's all. You see, it's all possible. Well, listen. What the point I'm trying to make is that we're all trying to move forward. Schools are trying to move forward. Parents are saying, okay, less paper, the better. So we're saying instead of having textbook and exercise book and activity book, have everything within one. It's saving costs. It's supposed to
save costs. It's saving costs. It's saving the planet.
So saving
because you're cutting down less trees.
Exactly. So there's a full circle argument.
That is saving costs, really.
It is.
Really, no, for whom?
It's saving costs for the parents also. You cannot have to buy textbook and buy
books are not necessarily cheaper.
You must have activity book. You must have a size book.
They are not necessarily cheaper because they're in one book. But if you say they are saving the planet, I totally agree, because we are using less materials to print or to make paper. But when the schools...
I'm sorry, Halima's been holding for a while. I'm so sorry. Halima, are you still there? I'm so sorry. She's been holding for a while. I still apologize, Halima. Yes, go ahead.
So if we talk about the books as it is, the schools are only selling and ensuring that the books are needed per year. Maybe they have an amount they need to sell per child. So they do projects. You see schools like in our school now, they tell you to pay for books ahead. Once the third term is closing, they'll tell you, for those of you approaching primary something, these are the selected number of books you'll be buying highlight which one you're buying and everything so that they can plan. They go to the publishers, they buy the number of books they need. If you pay at the resumption of school, your child's books will be delayed. Sometimes they never get the books because there's a number of amount of books that they can buy at lesser amount. So they need to do their business. It's a business.
From Godman from Abuja. Godman, you're live from Abuja.
Okay, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. The challenging things we are seeing in school, I don't know whether the environment differ from other environment. The unity school or government school supposed to be more lesser than private schools. But what I'm observing here, I went for admission in government school. What they gave to me was higher than the private that my child was. Then I have to return the child back to the school. The government is looking at the school charge, 13,900. Levy, 9,000 naira. Taking material fees, 23,750. Admin fee. What is the admin fee? If there is school charge, if there is material charge, admin fee 17,000. URC transfer form 10,000. Bereg fee 5,000. Posting fee 10,000 naira. Uniform not added to. And every other thing, broom, or classes and other things. Where are we going? If you calculate this thing, it's about 90-something thousand naira point. 90-something, 96,000 naira. So, then I come back to private school. I calculated the private 80-something, 50-something, 70-something. Then where is the help of government to a Nigerian situation? To our own citizens. I'm talking of entry to SS1. What is government really doing? Well, one cannot buy. Students cannot go to school. University is hard to have admission. Jam is not easy to go by. Where are we going?
Thank you, Godman.
I love what he has said. You know what he has said? He has not talked about books. So, from what I heard, he didn't talk about books. What he's talking about is all the other charges. That is the argument that I think, forget about books. Your kids need these books. All this, they are paying for broom, paying for this. Is it a child supposed to pay for broom? They are paying for foolish things. And it's just a way of these schools
extorting.
Yes.
Excursions every day, left.
So that if we are arguing from that point of view, I will not mind. But when you talk about the books, I think leave the books as they are.
So schools actually extort from children from different ways. They find all these levies. But I'm reading a message from a school owner who said that they have to pay parking, bus and sewage permits, tenement rates, land use charge, borehole charges, business premises, development levy, as well as Lagos State Signage and Advertisement Agency, LASA. That's so. As a school owner, so they're probably trying to justify the reasons why they have to make revenue from different sources. One of which is the books. So that according to this,
that's a fraud.
This is one person that is talking.
That's a fraud because Auntie, what do you do in your office? Don't pay costs, don't pay charges. In my own office, they put extra money on our units. Exactly. EKDC, sorry, units. Not EKDC.
Yeah, but where would you get?
We have units that we get from
clients that pay you now.
The landlord puts his own. We are paying service charge.
Your client.
We are paying
the money you pay them is not client.
No.
It's in the client.
So there's a way my business is structured that I will not come and take it from books now.
No.
You understand? We pay tuition.
The services you are.
Should that caller just counted what we are paying? We will pay tuition. Inside, there was one that gave me bill. They wrote tuition, they still wrote school fees. I'm wondering, what's tuition? What's school fees?
Let me take.
The school fees is for the premises. The tuition is
admin fee. Holiday fee.
The teachers are underpaid.
Compulsory camp fee.
Take this call.
Give me the excursion.
Adeji, thanks for calling. You're live.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. I'm calling from Abuja.
Abuja, I have a lot of Abuja calls today.
I'm a mother of 3.
Mother of 6? I need volume, please. 3, okay.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And I would like to plead with the government.
I can't hear.
To please do something about the the buying, the purchasing of books, because it's such a painful thing that my first child, the second child cannot use his book, and the third child cannot also use the second child's book. It's such a painful thing. And to me, it's a wasteful of resources. Government should please do something about it. There's nothing bad if our children can use their each of it's just like the way you said, we use our clothes. When I was in school, I used my elder sister's book. And we are all here today. We are not dormant.
I didn't hear Adeji. Thank you very much, Adeji. But I think she was just saying that that the government should do something about it. But this, I've always said we have to do a paper on this, something that government, everything we do, government to do something. And somebody has to do a paper on what something means, because nobody ever defines what regulation. So listen, my point is, YK, is that things evolve, things change. We keep comparing how we were to today. Things are different. It's not the same economics. It's not the same money that we're earning. There is a total different factors in play here. I'm not saying that how we were raised is better or not better. But you can't say because you got your brother's books and now we're in 2024, the same thing should be happening. There's a possibility
really changed.
On different parts of the world to things
Can I
change.
argue that nothing really changed? We just had capitalists moving to government.
Exactly. That's the reality.
No, that's not the reality. When in governance, things must not work as you run your business, your office. In governance, it's a social contract. You're looking out for your people. Your interest of your people is what you're looking out for. Now we are looking out for private interest, businessmen interest. That's why we're discussing better every day. We're looking out for businessmen and their interests and their investments. We're no longer looking out for the collectiveness of Nigerians. What change?
Nima, you own a car. You own a car wash. How much you charge your people is based on the cost.
On my cost?
Yeah, exactly. Yes. So you're a business person. You're also charging people
to ensure that I don't reap people.
I'm not private schools.
No, you know that we were discussing that something which that government has to do. You know, everybody say government has to do something.
Yeah, so how does government regulate your own business?
It's regulating your own business. Imagine that you come to my business and my business is causing flooding, or my business I have clogged drainages. That's government's business to ensure that my business does not cause inconvenience to other people. My business is not to rip people off. If a regular car can be washed for a certain amount, why will in my business
define what is ripping off? What is defined?
Okay.
Let me jump in to count this thing and then
so let's take it up a notch, right? So let's come to tertiary institutions, for example, where the same what they call that thing, say pamphlet. What's that thing they used to give us again? Handouts. It's the same handouts that I use, that another person will use. And then we all have in year 1, year 2, we all have the same courses that we have to go through, everybody. GS 101, GS, whether you're studying medicine, you're studying English or law, everybody must do the GSs. But then the lecturers force you that everybody that comes must buy
their handouts.
Like, for example, for me, and because we also have to look at this and look at mischievous children. I was a mischievous child when I was in uni. Why? Because like my parents didn't go to uni in Nigeria. So I assumed that they didn't understand the Nigerian system. So I exploited that. So I used to buy the same textbooks in first semester. I'll still buy the same books again in second semester. The only thing I used to pay different was school fees. And I thought my parents didn't know. When I graduated, I did a 5-year course. I did it all through. And my father said, "You think I did not know?" I knew. But because you're a girl and I felt you needed extra money, I just allowed you to continue doing that, right? But then what am I trying to say is that my brother, I had a brother that went to school before me. He had the same textbooks. So they had to buy the same textbooks. Why? And if you don't buy that, the lecturers will be on your matter. That you didn't buy handouts.
It's a business.
And it's not like an activity book. Why?
Let me take this call from a caller. Tola, thanks for calling. You're live.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Tola.
Good morning.
Yes, so thank you very much, Sister Nima. Let me explain ripping off to you. So when we pay school, I have 2 children, by the way, in primary school, and I am in education myself. When you pay school fees, you pay admin, you pay levy, you pay PP, you pay all of those things. Now, school will now give you books. They write books, 100,000 naira. You don't know what books these books are. Hold on. When the children now start to bring these books home, you're going to be wowed. You know why you'll be wowed? A book of 900 naira. A book of, so if we even need to talk for writers, talk for publishers, it's the schools that are getting, so schools are doing 300%, 200% on books. These books cannot be passed down. There are special schools that have ways that these things are managed. There are schools where you get a book, it's not your book. It's a rentage system. When you use that book for about a year, if that book is still in good condition, you're passing it down. If your child has not used that book well, you now pay for it, a new one, so that the next generation will have a fresher one. But what private schools are doing, primary schools especially, they want you to keep coming to buy new books. And the prices are extreme. I don't think that writers and publishers are getting as much as they should. You know why? Because the schools are doing the most. That's ripping. See, if I cannot afford it,
Thank you very much, Tola.
I cannot afford it. Oh,
Thank you very much, Tola. I mean,
I cannot talk too much on this because my own child, she don't grow, she don't marry. She's the one now facing, but I know that the books she uses, because she does homeschooling, the books she uses are activity books. Mm-hmm. All of the books, they write in the books, but that's in another country. Mm-hmm. So I really don't know what the system is here.
So what I know is that, you see, my own worry, I hear Nima and I hear the cries. I'm a parent also, and I have 4 kids. Mm-hmm. I'm having these issues in different degrees. Mm-hmm. But I also know that I don't like it when Nigerians talk with 2 sides of their mouth, because one second you're like, oh, let's do international standard. Let's do how it's done. How, we keep bringing this international standard in our head. And when we travel and we see how people, schools, books are printed such that we have activities in there, you don't see people passing one book to the next person. And then we come home, we won't start criticizing and say, no, you can't do that in Nigeria. It is wrong. Government should intervene. Government should do something. I'm thinking to myself, okay, what exactly do you want? Because people are saying, I agree with the economics of it. It's easier for us, especially where we are, that we should pass on the books. But the reality for the book owners, the reality for public school is that, listen, the best way to maximize our revenue, because I can't charge you 50,000 naira per term. The only way I can do is to ensure that you're buying my books, you're buying my uniform, you're buying the all the various amenities you need. Then I can make some extra buck here and there to meet up the salaries I need to pay for my teachers, because tomorrow we'll be the same person that said teachers are not properly paid. There are different ways. It's a full cycle. And we experience, I agree that sometimes the money might be too much, but we must also see the full picture, not just one side of the lens we choose to look at.
The reason why this is to ensure that you can cook well, and that's the business of government. If government, for instance, knows that what we are dealing with, the only logical thing here for this buying books every time thing is for the publisher's interest. I agree that the publishers should make money off their creativity. Okay, so this one, government can put in a mechanism and make sure that the publishers get their money. It doesn't now have to be a million don't blow money. Why can't it be that? If I have 2 children of maybe 2 years apart, they can reuse their book before curriculum changes. Then the new children in that class, they can't all be reusing books. It's impossible. There will be new students who will buy your books. So if you say your target every year is 10 million, that cannot be done. But if we look at the new children who are coming in, at least you will sell 2 million, 3 million, 4 million if per new students. And there's some people who will escape that bracket. We must regulate to ensure that some people escape it. Exactly. There's wastage. Come to my house, come and see what I do with books every session, because my kids are just 4 years apart. Just 4 years later, and they cannot meet in the same class. I mean, wastage, piled up that you can't take out.
Let me take Ayola from Abulegwa. Thanks for calling, Ayola.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning. I hope you can hear me clearly.
Yes.
Very clearly. Yes, Sister Nima, happy birthday to yourself. We happen to share the same birthday.
Happy birthday.
In September.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, let's start from this side. I am sure most people don't look at it from this side. Do you know that most of these textbooks that have activity in it does not allow our children to write more like we used to write when we were young? If you look at their notebooks, they write
very brief.
Their notebooks are not filled with exercises. It does not exercise their hands. Except the gifted ones, most of them don't have handwriting. Because they don't write well, they don't write much. Apart from the fact that we want our publishers to earn more, we want the school to earn more, they should please allow the children to exercise, allow them to think. From writing the question, the thinking has started already. It is not when they are looking at the book and they are not writing. When you start writing it down, you tend to it makes you at least get 10% of what you're supposed to write down. Then there was I have 3 kids. My school, I changed their school last year. So only because the school is asking us to pay maintenance fee for the 3 kids, 10,000 per 10. Whether they spoil anything in the school or they don't spoil anything in the school, we are mandated to pay 10,000 for my 3 kids every 10, apart from the school fees. They introduced this maintenance fee, then the increments, everything last year. So I just no, I just left the school. Then the textbook, there should be a way that will come to the middle ground. We are not saying publishers should not also live fine, but at least if they can do it in such a way that 2 children can use it conveniently. Probably there's a school close to my house that they use that rented one that one caller said earlier. You don't have to buy those books. The schools will buy it.
Thank you very much.
You will rent it.
When she was talking about writing is important. I remembered when I first went to the US, and as a Nigerian, my mentality is writing. So I'll be in class and I'll be jotting, and everybody just be wondering why they're just jotting so much. And then they'll give us assignments. I'll come the next day, I won't do my assignment. Then everybody will come with plenty assignments done, and I'm wondering what happened. Half the time, my assignment was online. Then I had no clue about LMS, learning management. I had no clue, nothing. So everything was online. So in my own head, I had to jot down every single thing because that's the only way I could learn and go and study. But the reason why they were not jotting my class because many of them knew that all the notes were already online. The assignment was online. They came the next day, they had their assignments. I didn't even have a clue. So the reason I'm bringing this example is that things are different. To somebody who probably grew up saying, okay, listen, it is notes. Somebody in another world is saying, we don't write notes, we go online. They are different worlds. It depends on how you see it. So the point I'm trying to make is that things evolve. Let's not always lock ourselves. This is how we grew up. This is how we know it. Let our children grow up that way. No, it doesn't have to be that way. Things are different today. To you, textbooks are important for you to pass down. To another person, it's important for you to have reference where your own notes are what you write. How you think is in your textbook. You can reference it. Different people learn different way. I'm not trying to. I'm not saying that.
This example you are giving, we are not even there yet because this will most likely render most writers redundant in Nigeria.
And that across the world
will fade. Yeah. It will fade away because schools should be.
Many schools are uploading their stuff.
They should be in the business of uploading. But they're not even the upload because I tell you, say they get caught. They are not even in the business of uploading. They leave the problem and the burden of buying and disposing on reusable books to us parents. Come to my reading, we don't pile them. I can't even give them. I lack the conscience to burn them. I eventually will. I used to send them to the villages in the outskirts, and I had somebody who would go, but she's since graduated, and she's not going to school in any outskirts. So the books are just piled up on my table. This child can't use this one's books, and I'm helpless. And this one too is coming out. We're piling books all this way. The shelves are full of the books I consider important. And I buy some books. I insist on buying them.
Can I ask you a question? All the books, none of the books are reusable.
No, they don't write fuller.
Let me take this call.
Not even the maths book.
Except pages that are not used.
Alima. Come on. I'm from Abuja. Are you still there? Good morning. Go ahead, please.
Yes, I am.
Go ahead. You're live.
All right. Good morning. Good morning, Auntie Jenny. Good morning. Nima, good morning, Amaka, Mariah. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, on the book matter, one thing I noticed is schools are always out to read parents. Because, okay, let's say children can pass down books to my children, they are just a class apart. The younger ones didn't get to use the older one's books. I have copies of the same textbooks in my house. I used to be a teacher. There was in the school, the last school I taught, there is a book we bought, a Cambridge book we imported from UK. So the people noticed that book is quite expensive. So because of that, the following session, we stopped parents from buying. The school bought the textbook. Then the children were made to buy only the workbook. They use the workbook, they write in the workbook, but the textbooks were the school property. We bring them out for the children to use. they use the school, we hold them back from them again. Then all they have to use was the workbook.
Yeah.
A lot of textbooks that children use these days have workbooks. Why should I keep buying textbooks when I can just buy the school can get their own copies? And then the children will only use the workbook. The teacher's copy can be used to do class work in class.
Yeah.
The last caller talked about writing notes. Yeah. Fine, yeah, it's good to write, but it's not always, it's all about writing. School these days is not all about writing. All about writing. I remember post-COVID period in my former school, we were not giving homework home. All our homework were online because we don't want to transfer them from school to the home and all that. Yeah. Schools can actually help parents. I'm fighting my children's school right now because one thing that happened, because of this 18-year-old whatever issue with JAMB and all that, they didn't have year 6 before. Now they are having year 6 and they are making them reuse the year 5 books. And I think
Halima has answered our question, really. Halima has really solved the problem. Because what she's saying is that, listen, the schools can actually get involved in buying these books or even retaining the books, keeping the books and preserving the books, where kids are only allowed to only buy the activity books or the workbooks. Because when parents are forced to rebuy the book, that's the frustration. Exactly. So yes, you have the books. Now there'll be obviously issues of school books being missing here. That's why the onus therefore is on the school to ensure the safety of those books and protection of the books. But I think the middle ground is that parents should, schools should buy the books or retain the books and ensure that kids have access to it and only have to buy the activity books.
But what I keep hearing, like from friends and families, British, my child's in the British curriculum, or American curriculum school. And all the schools that they are online, and almost every child now has a laptop. Yeah. So why are the schools not now uploading those books or letting them buy the e-version of those books online, where anybody can reuse them? If you have 10 kids, they're not.
I think government should come in. Where I think government should come in is the regulation. Regulate these schools. Yeah. Let them stop exploiting parents. It is the exploitation that is frustrating the parents. And so government can regulate and make sure that there is no exploitation of parents. I know. Sorry, I have to. Let me just say, like uniforms. You have to buy uniforms almost every term.
They grow like trees. They just grow fast.
Yeah. So why not just have a standard uniform?
That's a different kettle of one we want to bring.
Go to commission a store. Yeah. Buy uniform from let it not be. So it's a standard uniform. Everybody is wearing the same uniform. So I can pass that uniform to my younger child. Yeah. Do you understand?
So we have that now. You're passing uniforms now.
Nigerian schools change uniform every 2 years. That's
not true. I have 2 children. I have 4 children.
The uniform that you had before did not have school staff.
What are you talking about?
The uniform we have your own school staff.
The same uniform.
Sportswear.
Change. Michelle is wearing Elizabeth's pinafore right now. I don't know which school you're talking about.
Auntie, my daughter, I have a son and a daughter.
I have 2 children. I have 2 daughters and 2 sons.
I put it in a bag. School. Any parent whose child would do this, and they used to find someone. My son's
let us wrap up on this matter. But let us wrap up on this. But my own school does not change. I don't know of any school that has changed uniform in 2 years. I don't know. It's in my school. That is all we can take on this. But I think YK has rounded this up properly. That let's government regulate, because at the end of the day, we don't want anybody being exploited. I think that's the argument, and you might say that stop exploiting these parents. And the other argument is that schools have to pay bills, the publisher has to eat. So there is a full circle, and we also have to be considerate in all our demands. That's all we can take on this segment. When we come back, move on to the next topic. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome the drag comedian of the Federal Republic. Benga Inca, the first.
Benga right here, 7 of 7, like I'm beginning to know. You don't scare me one bit. Pata, I could drink.
My first question. Do you remember preventive care. You check
the
their blood
name
pressure, you check their BP.
of the winner
Protect them ahead
of
so
that
they will
edition.
know that if there is an imminent hypertension
Of
or
course I
diabetes,
do.
Why do you?
And I hate myself for this because I have this question for you. Final question. Where outside Nigeria and what year?
For this drug. And at the same time, I was test with my glasses. They give me another brand new
I am thinking
which I can easily
I
work
know
with.
back in the day.
Don't think. Answer my question quickly. You are thinking too much. I don't like it. Okay.
The month of September, it is dedicated to childhood cancer awareness. On the 8th of September is the International Literacy Day. On the 9th of September is the International Day to Protect Education from Attack. The 10th of September is the World Suicide Prevention Day. While on the 11th of September is the remembrance of the bombing of the World Trade Center in the United States, popularly known as the 9/11. On the 15th of September is the International Day of Democracy. On the 16th of September is the International Day for the Preservation of the Ozone Layer. The 21st of September is the International Day of Peace. The 23rd of September is the International Day of Sign Languages. The 26th of September is the World Maritime Day and the International Day for the total elimination of nuclear weapons. On the 27th of September is the World Tourism Day. On the 29th of September is the World Art Day. Stay tuned to TVC News for those reports and analysis. TVC News, first with breaking news.
The Inspector General of Police has met with senior officers to review the state of security.
We are continuing our coverage of the arrest of Godwin Emefiele.
The Senate has summoned the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria to properly brief the Senate regarding the state of the economy.
What I will never take is threat.
Let's now bring you more developments from Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, where an explosion has taken place. Tell us about this incident.
TVC News, first with breaking news.
Thanks for staying with us. So our next topic is about billionaire businesswoman, Chief Mrs. Sade Okoya, in a video that went viral, recounted how she met her husband. According to her, their second meeting, he went straight to the point because she actually went to see him for work. It was at their second meeting where he went straight to the point that he wanted to marry her, and she thought that it was too soon and sudden. Some say she married him because obviously he was really interested in marrying her immediately, and he asked her mother, and they went to family. Before you knew it, they got married. Now, the issue is there was no courtship. The conversation is many of us, especially family, we try to encourage our young girls to have a decent amount of years of courtship or months before finally settling down. We see this woman who met her husband. In fact, it was the second meeting where the man told her immediately that he wants to marry her. And then her parents got involved. Before you know it, they got married. And then it's 25 years of bliss. She's happy. She has 4 amazing children. And today we're saying, how long should courtship be? Should we continue to encourage young people to court for a longer time, or maybe the shorter courtship, the better? What are your thoughts? You can call us on 081-0764-1679, 090-241-63440. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourView TVC so we can read the tweets. 25 years of marriage.
Successful.
I remember when the news came out that, she was marrying Chief Razak Okoya, and everybody had something to say. Everybody condemned it from left, right, and center. But it's been 25 years now, and all we've seen is a success, happiness, joy, and she's saying that there was never really a long courtship. What are your thoughts on this? Let me come to you. Nima,
because I wish PC was here. We need to redefine what this courtship thing is. So we are not lab rats that you're experimenting on each other. People do this courtship endlessly. They will say they're looking for faults. In marriage, it's the same test, though. Inside the marriage, you're getting to know each other. You're making it work. The resilience you put into a courtship and a long relationship, you need it in your marriage anyways. So I'm from the Islamic point of view. I didn't have a long courtship too. I am enjoying it because we always discover new things to deal with. And I prefer it for a lot of reasons because I don't see the need. Some people will do long courtships. Then the small thing that when it happens in a marriage you can handle will now break the relationship. You'll be 9 years, 7 years at it. The person that cannot make up their mind that they want to marry you would never marry you, really. If they want to marry you, they see you, they know it. Even if circumstances make it long, make it a while delayed, it will happen because they're sure from the get-go. But can we just get to know each other? There was this conversation I saw, like research. Two people were talking and they said that if the girl comes to you and she's asking you, let's define our relationship, she's pushing. And the guy was now saying, no. If a guy says he doesn't know, we all know, it means he will never know. But if a guy says, okay, can we get to know ourselves? He knows. You know, under what parameters and rules are you people playing this knowing yourself game?
But there's this school of thought, Amaka, that says that, listen, you have to get to know if this man can actually, if this person can father children, if this woman can actually be a wife. Because there are other things that, because people, the reason why you do courtship, although we don't encourage girls to be active before they get married. But part of what courtship is supposed to do is to be sure that family can sync. There's activity on both sides, can actually perform. Financially, you are together, that you can actually merge your revenue. You know, there's conversations about the future, your plans for your children, plans for your family. So you need some time, and you don't know a woman or a man when you meet the person. So it's either you go in, you're clueless, and you're hoping, keeping your fingers crossed. Because in this case, it's almost like, okay, I am trusting, and I'm going into this marriage. Some says, I need to be sure, don't go and enter,
You ever get sure?
Let me come to you.
So for me, I just feel like there's no time frame or time limit to courtship, although there should be a reasonable time, to get to know somebody. But then the most important thing here is questions that are being asked. Because you can date someone for 5 years, 7 years, and you're not asking the right questions. And you don't have the right questions in your mind. So you're not actually saying certain things that you're supposed to say. While another person can cut for a very short time frame, and they're asking the right questions.
I'm sorry to cut you off. But therein could lie the problem. This question I will tell everybody, ask question. When we were dating, we didn't have any questions. We just go with our instinct, okay, this guy, But now we're telling people, ask the right question, have the clinical. And people are finding that once the men are feeling as if I'm being interviewed. So asking questions, which kind of questions are we asking?
No, but there are certain questions that you need to ask. For example, like if you meet somebody and then you have a genotype problem. For example, I am AS, right? And I meet somebody and I feel like this person, I like this person. Before I start over liking you, by first, second date, I'll ask, I want to know your genotype. Let me know whether I want to continue or whether I put you in the friend zone. The important things questions to ask.
I love that. Now put yourself in the shoes of this Sade Okoya, who met her husband 25 years ago. Now, the man says, now put yourself in the shoes. You see a wealthy man, he's successful, and he says, I want to marry you. Are you going to start asking what's your genotype?
I'm going to ask because of my family background. My grandmother had 12 children and she had lots of sickle cell kids. So I come from...
Dangote comes to you right now.
Yes, because I come from that I come from that family background where I've seen what sickle cell has done. So for me, it's pertinent that I ask, right? I ask those questions. Then I can say, okay, because you have money now, and that because with medicine now, there's now a new technology where we can check where there are not solutions to the problems, where we can now boycott that. Then with your money, no problem. but I'm going to put it on the table so that, if it's something you're willing to deal with, because the problem we're also having now is that so many people are not putting the truth, medical issues, a lot of things on the table, because you wonder when we're inside that we can deal with it, but that's wrong. That's deceit. You understand? So you need to put something on the table and let me have a choice to know, can I deal with this? Am I willing to deal with this? You have to ask questions to also know people's background, to know, do they die early in their families? Do they have certain prevalent issues? You need to know, because this is your future. You're going to bring in kids. You have plans of bringing in kids into the world.
Again, people who made these decisions back then didn't do all this research that we're being encouraged these days to do. Many of them just went in and listen, I'm trusting that this guy knows what he's doing. I'm trusting that this girl is going to stay with me. Now, this person is saying, I've been married to this man for 25 good years and it's been blissful. And that one is saying, I courted for 10 years, we married 2 years, and the marriage is over. Who made the right choice? Who made the wrong choice?
I think it's an individual thing, because what works for one person may not work for the other. If I court you for 5 years and we marry and we divorce after 1 year, that means that it didn't work from that long courtship. And then another person will meet her own person today, marry tomorrow, and 10 years later they are still together. So I don't think there's any rule. There's any everything. It's different for everybody. It's different for everybody. In a case like Amaka, where they have the sickle cell gene, she has to ask. That's, in fact, first.
Does money play a factor? I mean, let me come back to this. Do you think that if because now we're talking, the reason why we're having this conversation is for young people who are finding themselves in this woman's shoes today. Because I remember when she got married, there was a lot of hula baloo. How can she go and do this? How can she do? She's number this, she's number 5, she's number 10, she's number 8. All sort of things are around. And then all who have criticized her, they're the ones dancing around today without, hey, Sade, So the point I'm trying to make is that there's a young woman today who's being called by somebody like this, say, I want to marry you today. And she's like, no, I must ask these questions, or we must date first, no, I want to, And the guy's wondering, I want to marry you today. So what advice do you have for that kind of person?
I want to believe that she's from a very strong family. When this kind of question is coming from a much older person, your family play a role in how you're guided to make the decision. So she might like and be afraid, and the family will say, no problem, it works.
So you need a family support system.
Is that one
this kind of situation.
Important. But I don't like that the reporter or maybe the interviewer did not take it from the point of the question, because there are still questions, just as Amaka said, that you must ask. I had a very short courtship. We had a few questions I would ask. I will probe on each question per time. Genotype was a major one I asked. There was also the question of whether you would like me to work. Because at that time, all I could think of is having a career. That, I'm going this way, this is where I want to get to. So my husband, I made sure that he was open to me having a job. And I kept asking, are you okay with, having helps, someone helping with the kids and all of those things? Those were questions I wanted to know. I'm sure she asked certain questions. If the interview had just taken and this story blew from that point, that would be nice. Because young girls now are just looking for the material life. And they will rush in and most likely rush out because they don't look for the ingredients itself that makes a home.
But you see, all this makes everything so calculating.
Except God bless you, YK.
It's as if instead of going into a love relationship, you are going into a business
transaction.
So marriage
isn't marriage a contract?
Marriage is not like, well, maybe for some people, but for me, marriage to me should be about love. I meet you and I love you. I am attracted to you.
Fall in love eventually.
So wait, let me come to this call.
You fall in love eventually.
So you are saying love because
because I fell in love 2 years after.
I want your comments properly. Let me take show. Good morning, Show. Thanks for calling. You're live.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Very well.
Yes, this is my first time calling you.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Let me just be brief. You see, first and foremost, I want all of us to define what courtship is. Because it is when you define courtship that you know what you should be doing when you are courting each other. If you are sincere with yourself, I don't see why it should take more than a year say you want to get married. So it depends on what you are discussing during the courtship. So if that lady, the man happens to be a rich man, but because that is the guarantee every woman will want to have in her life, a comfortable life. Yes, but this lady must have thought of other things for her to have accepted. So what I'm trying to just chip in is courtship shouldn't take a longer period.
Okay.
If you are sincere with yourself.
All right, thank you very much, Shehu. I wanted to go back to what Nima said, because I think, as I said, the reason why I have this conversation, because there are a lot of young people that find themselves in this kind of situation. And you said about family. Family is so important because that's where they guide you. There's some things you cannot see. That your family will say, okay, this man might have 8 wives. He's making you wife number 9. And the reason why we're supporting you is because we've seen that this is what he can do for you. This is how he can do for the family. Now, is that a favorable conversation in today's times? Would you allow your child to marry somebody who probably has 7, 8 wives already? I'm not saying this is
not the way you put it. What he can do for the family is not.
I'm just saying different conversations.
It's not necessary.
It might not be about what he can do for the family.
It might be that just what he can do for you. Whether he's capable, because sometimes I had my father's friends come to the house a lot of times and wanted to marry his daughters, and my mom would be like, no, they are your father's friends. You can't. My mom was always against it. But my dad would converse with you and would if you're open to it, if it's something you want to do, let me know. If it's something you're against, but we always followed our mom. The truth is that it's not about what that person could do for my mother's side, it wasn't about what my mother used to look at how the wives were treated.
Yes.
And counsel everybody. Look at this one, that your father's friend. I remember talking to the wife privately one time. She like cannot happen. So it never happened amongst my father's friends because my mother had a woman's angle of things. So the family can be coming and knowing the past of that person and say, this person has been through this. This is how he wants to live his life forward. You'll be well cared for. And the child will go there and she will thrive like Sade Okoya is doing today and be well cared for. And there's nothing wrong in it. But for a young girl to think, because Alhaji was a billionaire, that's the only problem I need in that marriage. That's where you make the mistake. Because other people are looking at other dynamics and you are calculating money and you go and enter Pankpe. In this kind of relationships, there are more to it. Beyond family affiliations, family, mergers and all of that, there's more to it. And the person going in as a woman has to be prepared. The family played that role very importantly to prepare the girl. You see young girls go there. I had a younger sister then who his father married at 18. And he just decided this is how she's going to marry. It was a family marriage. They were both young, but the families thought these 2 children should marry. Their marriage is stronger today. And I wasn't even married at the time. Let
me take Ibrahim. Good morning, Ibrahim. Thanks for calling. You're live.
It's Hajia Ibrahim.
Hajia, thanks for calling.
Hajia Ibrahim.
Hajia Ibrahim, sorry about
that. Good morning, Maka and YK.
Good morning.
It's possible. It's possible. And what used to play out is either for a reason, either because the man is wealthy or the family knows each other. In my own case, I'm a grandmother now. In my own case, we only dated for 6 months. And today we are 36 years.
Wow.
And we have grandchildren. The very first day he saw me, that was the very first day he took me to his mom. Because he was under pressure to settle down. And I also wanted to settle down. And when we went for the introduction, that very day, he introduced me to his mom.
I said 2 years. 2 years after. For me, it is impossible because for me, chemistry is super important to me. I need to have chemistry. I need to feel butterflies in my tummy. I want to be excited. Of course, I want to be excited about when I see about a person. I want to be shy. That's important to me because, So but the thing is that God still gave me small sense that even though I'm feeling those things, I still want to ask important questions. Because this is my future, right? So there's no hard or fast rule to how these things work. But there's something that all of us, we keep saying here, even the callers, care. We're in an African setting. Let me talk about the African setting where, as in the notion is that a man has to take care of a woman. A woman has to be cared for. So it's also important that when a man steps up to you, like wants to court you, says he wants to marry you, if he comes from a place of care, That thing they say gifts open up the way for a man. It's true. Okay. Depending on how he garnishes.
Okay. I don't think we've not discussed what I want us to discuss.
Well,
because there are people who we are on this table. We have criticized when a man says I want to marry 2 wives or 3 wives. Aside from maybe a Muslim man, where he says I've married Muslim wife 1, 2, and then you now want to be the 3rd wife. We criticize, we chastise, we condemn. I'm saying a lot of women. When we say she's married, she's the 3rd wife. Imagine how can she go and marry somebody else's husband? We have heard criticized Messi Ibe, for example, saying that how can she be somebody else's 2nd wife? We have on this table we have because many people have criticized.
If you're coming in,
the points we're trying to make. Look, how do you know the first I was not displaced? Do you know the information? Do you know? Is not what you're saying on camera?
You know that I know.
No, I'm just saying, bro. I
wanted to respond to Amaka. So if you talk about butterflies, being shy, those are feelings you can have for someone approaching you for love. Those were existing. But when you can ascertain that this person, I can't do the rest of my life with this person, it takes a while. And I had to travel and come back to feel that way about my husband. So that's what I'm putting out there. So if love is about feeling, that happened all the time. But I had clarity. I would ask certain questions because we don't have time to be sitting around.
Now that you've answered Amaka, going back to what I'm saying.
Let me go back to you. What you're saying. It's what you know.
That's not what I know. Yeah. So what I'm saying is that the point I'm trying to make is that because young people are watching the show, and there's a man who wants to marry them as a 3rd wife, but they are afraid because society is going to condemn them for that act. So I'm saying that let us be realistic in our conversation. This young person watching.
The fear should not be that the society will condemn you for that, right? The fear is that your intentions are pure and that you're sure that man is not using women, because that's likely. That the first wife has been battered, she's sitting somewhere, you're the next victim, and somebody else is the next victim. I almost fell victim in such an arrangement to one prof who came to my family. And my mom was like, ask again. By the time we found out, I would have been wife number 8. All the other wives have been beaten and battered and left. Only the first wife stayed and put up with his excesses. What kind of marriage is that? So it's not every approach of second wife you jump at. I had such approaches a lot. Find admission for my daughter, prof saying that no, she's too old, at 21 she should be married. And that's what he wanted. But we found out there were women in between his first wife and my approach that has gone, who were maltreated. So is it that you want to do? Number one, pure intentions. Pure intention is that you know that your requirement is to marry as Muslim. It's half of our deen for a man, really, to marry. And then you want to marry. You're concerned about how caring the man is, not that you allow somebody play tissue paper with you as a woman. So polygamy is a very complex game. It's not for everybody. It's for
let me come to the Christian part, where from what Mariah is saying, like a young girl that is out there that wants to, a man is approaching that wants to. For me, you should look out for respect, because if a man wants to marry as a 2nd or 3rd wife, I believe that if he respects his 1st or 2nd wife, he should have informed them. He should sit them down because he respects them. This is his home. He's trying to create a home, right? And he sits down and he respects them and he says, I want to bring in a 2nd wife. What do you feel about it? So that when you're coming as a 2nd wife, you're not coming into a chaos. Because in my primary school, because in my primary school, I have friends. I have friends that their mothers, right? We are sisters. The same man, my 3 sisters. Yes. So for me, it's a thing of respect that because if you don't do that to me, yes, 2 sisters. If you don't do that to me, then that means you're going to bring in the person as disrespect.
Just clarity. So unfortunately, we've totally run out of time.
Polygamy in Africa, they know they collect permission, but in Christianity, maybe permission is required.
Permission, Bao. If that is all we can take on today's show, why can't
the 4th wife? That wasn't their sister. They will beat
Madam Yeni Anikulapo Kuti. We have ended.
We didn't take any of our comments.
That's all we can take. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.
Bye.